Hello, my name is Anton Kleshev. I'm a professional software architect with 15 years of software development experience. Today we're going to be talking about how to estimate a software development feature. Before we start, please like and subscribe to not miss any future videos. We have a lot of stuff planned about software development planning getting ready to be released to this channel very soon. So stay tuned. Alright, let's get into it. The software development world is fast and dynamic. New innovations keep flowing in, and we need to make sure we use our timeline effectively. To achieve a proper planning, the first step is to perform an estimate for that innovation, whether it's a feature or a project. Performing a good estimation is a skill that can save time and nerves for company leaders, developers, and managers. It ensures the smooth delivery and execution of a project with predictable timelines. So how do we achieve it in the proper way? First of all, we need to say this. An estimate is a probability measurement, and not an exact number. We can only predict it with a certain level of accuracy. What accuracy do you need for that estimate? Estimates can be of two main types, high-level estimate and low-level estimate. High-level estimates, also called a t-shirt size estimate, is an estimate that is usually given in the early phases of a project. It can be useful to predict a long-term company schedule for a quarter or say a year. A high-level estimate is usually given without a full dive into the project or feature details. The requirements can even be as simple as just one line of text or an acceptance criteria statement. A lot of assumptions are used to complete the full picture. Low-level estimate, on the other hand, are estimates that are used for later phases of a project. For example, this can be an estimate before the beginning of a 2-week sprint or an iteration. It can be used to schedule the immediate work for the development team. Low-level estimates require a more serious dive into the project or feature requirements to understand business context. It should contain UI design, mockup, or detailed write-up specifications that will allow to cut the feature in smaller pieces. Once the requirements are known and available, it's time to perform technical decomposition. The decomposition is a process of converting business requirements into a work breakdown structure containing coding, testing, and other development work necessary for feature implementation. Depending on the type of an estimate, the decomposition can be also high-level and low-level. High-level decomposition may be grouped by major modules, services, and subsystems to be built, whereas low-level decomposition may include modifications in classes, UI widgets, creation of particular test cases, and other granular activities. When the work breakdown structure is defined, the next step is defining dependencies for each activity on the list. Dependencies can be internal, between the tasks in the decomposition, or external, if the tasks depend on other activities that exist outside of the scope for the defined feature or project. When dependencies are defined, it can be convenient to map them into a network diagram for better visibility. To learn more about network diagrams, please check out the related video on the channel. Next step is a key step, defining an estimated effort for each activity on the list, a particular number that would clarify the value in man days or story points. Multiple techniques can be used to define level of effort. Let's review some of them. Technique number 1. Use expert judgment. This technique implies creating an estimate by someone who creates a number just by pure judgment or guess, based on their previous experience. Such an estimate technique is simple but the least accurate. More effective techniques exist to make it more accurate and precise. Technique number 2. Planning poker. This is a very popular and quite effective technique to define an estimate. Multiple people provide their estimate for work independently in multiple rounds. In the first round, there can be a major deviation between values from multiple team members. The members that have estimates very different from others should explain the reason why they provided an estimate with such deviation. After that, discussion can be held where team members discuss where those explanations are reasonable or relevant. Follow-up rounds will be held to account for thoughts and discussions. After multiple rounds, estimate values usually get balanced to a median. Historical reference. This is probably the most accurate and effective technique of estimation. In order to estimate a feature or project, some very similar or identical feature or project that was already performed in the past can be taken as a basis, and estimate is performed based on its final consumed development time. If the feature or project are similar but not identical, the prorated points can be used to define parts that can differ. More on that in the next point. Team performance on similar tasks. This technique assumes that there was a work history for team that is participating in the development. First, based on the complexity of tasks the team performed in the past, Conditional points are assigned to measure relation between the task size and the timeline of their execution. After that, those measurements are applied to the new tasks that are estimated prorated to their size. Industry experience. This technique can be relevant if the project or teams are brand new and there is no historical data to rely upon. In that case, an industry relevance can be used to estimate projects or features of similar complexity and scale. To learn more about estimation techniques, I highly recommend a book by Steve McConnell called Software Estimation: Demystifying the Black Art. It contains a drastic description of all of the techniques mentioned in this video. If you want me to go over some of the techniques mentioned in this video or suggest more techniques, let me know in the comments to this video. Let's continue. Some developers prefer to perform estimates, especially of high level, in a single number. However, I would recommend doing it in multiple records, where each record identifies the nature of the job that needs to be done and its required specialization, like you see on the screen. The type of work can be development, QA, and specialization can refer to a particular area of the system that requires certain expertise. This will make it much easier and accurate for project managers to later map it to development teams and resources and schedule. Despite the estimate being ready, you may want to also account for the risk factor for the estimate delivery. To do this properly, please watch the video about the way to account for risk in estimates on the channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, please share it and press the like button. It makes it easier to share the knowledge. If you're interested in learning more about the methodologies that inspired this video, please check out this channel and consider subscribing. You can learn even more at our website, tplanner.io, where we have various resources and a project planning tool you can use. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.